All right, Turkey Tom has released a video, responding to allegations against him, and the allegations were that he liked age play. He was into girls that were petite with no tits that dressed up in Hello Kitty merch or like other like weird like kitty stuff. And then there was a more serious one that the girls like barely focused on. Is that he was like secretly recording their like sexual interactions. Um, the victim it was like the weakest one. It's like the strongest one. And they like barely focused on it. And also that Turkey Tom would also like ignore requests in bed. He'd refuse to use lube. When the girls asked for him to be a little less rough, he'd just completely ignore it. Leaving the girls fucking leaving one of the girls bloody because he refused to use lube. So let's play the video.
Sorry that this response took so long. I wanted to make sure I had all the facts together before saying anything. Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters, being so rough and inconsiderate during sexual encounters that it bordered on assault, encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations. The two women who are accusing me, Sacramento89, real name Rowan, and Left 4 Dead, real name Katie, took to gossip forum Kiwi Farms to post the accusations, along with carefully cherry-picked screenshots to back up their claims. These claims aren't super difficult to debunk just because of the overwhelming amount of evidence I have on my side. So without further ado, let's start with Sacramento or Rowan. This is a girl I dated for about 7 months, from May of 2025 until January 10th of 2026. 4 days later, she made her first post. Here, she alleges that I am a real freak and like to, quote, record sexual encounters without asking for consent. This is blatantly untrue. I have never recorded any sexual encounter without explicit consent. As a matter of fact, with Rowan, she was the one who initiated the idea of filming sex acts in the first place. On Tuesday, August 19th.
So what is this? All right, she messages him. He should get those meta glasses when you crack me. Tom says, for what? She replies with cracking time. He parrots it. Then she says, yup, good night. Good night, Tom. They say good night.
After 3 months of knowing each other and being sexually active, Rowan texted me saying, you should get those meta glasses when you crack me. I responded by saying, for what? And she answers again, cracking time, alluding to me filming her with the glasses onboard camera. Now, at the time, I did not feed into this. I did not show enthusiasm. I didn't even agree to get the glasses. I just responded and said, good night, sweet dreams. So 1 whole week goes by without us talking about it whatsoever. And then on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, you should get those meta things.
Oh, she brings it up again. He says, I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while, given recent events. I am paranoid. She replies with, what recent events? Oh, nigga, you did that before. Shaking my head. Can't have any first with a ran through nigga. So like, I guess it is like, so I guess it is showing that like she was like fine. Well, she was like into the idea of like him filming her when they fucked. Um, it does kind of damn the point that what she didn't want it. My headcanon, my guess is that like the truth is like somewhere between their two allegations. It was probably that she most likely started the idea of wanting shit being filmed, and then after a while, Tom like stopped asking, kind of assumed that there was like an implied consent that he could like film whenever, and then started doing it, and that's the reason why the girl didn't say stop, or why she didn't go to the police with it.
for real. So I respond by saying, I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while, showing that I am clearly not the person interested in filming our sexual encounters. She is. As you can see in the text, even when I say I don't want to film us having sex,
What is this? Yeah, that makes sense. That's why you recorded with the glasses. How does that prevent or change anything? I mean, I guess if it's just on a hard drive somewhere, it's fine. I don't know why this is super cropped, but okay.
she pushes the issue. Now, to be clear, we did eventually take videos of ourselves being
And to provide a little more context on like why it probably isn't like super upward idea recording shit, it's because one of the most damning, like when it comes to like the age play allegations that he likes pretending, well, he likes fucking a girl that pretends to act like a little girl. It's because there was like this e-whore online that he was texting with on Twitter that did a lot of the age play things, that dressed up like a little girl. At some point during the relationship, you know, she the age player decided to say, like, claims that like the count, holy shit. Let me restart. To provide more context on like why it might be reluctant to like start recording shit again, is because along with the age play allegations, uh the girl Rowan said that he was getting blackmailed by this age player X account, claiming that Tom was claiming that her account got hacked and was now like threatening to like release the videos Tom had sent to the age player. So this is why Tom is a little scared to start recording shit again.
being intimate, but I was given explicit consent every single time. And on a few occasions, she even took the phone out of my hand and was holding it while filming us. To be clear, there was never a tripod or a hidden camera. It was always handheld, and in every single video, she was clearly aware of the camera, making eye contact with the camera lens. Also on September 8th, Rowan texts me, I do miss it though, in regards to our sexual interaction.
The fuck is this? Tom says, okay, I can do that in fact, I don't mind it. She says, I'm getting off my soapbox now. I do miss it though. Hashtag send the videos. I won't leak it or be hacked or whatever. Tom says, I can send them. Later though. I don't want to look at them right now. I'm gonna pop a stiffy. She says, I will watch and keep them close to my heart. Like you, my little Tom. And again, there's like, she also said, and I guess it's like he's about to confirm it here, is that Tom would never send the videos back to her. He would always hang on to them, which is weird. Like why are you holding on to them? Why won't you send it to the girl? I don't get it.
Interactions, she follows it up by saying send the videos. Keep in mind, these are videos that she claims in present day were taken without her consent. She then goes on to say, and I quote, I will watch them and keep them close to my heart, clearly indicating she has no problem whatsoever with them existing. I'm an extremely paranoid person when it comes to my personal life and my sex life and my dating life. As a public figure, I just like to keep my private life private. So I was very hesitant to send Rowan any sexual videos we had taken. However, I did send her one single still image from one.
I don't. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It is just more likely that he already got burned by the H player, and is a little scared to give this girl access to videos as well.
One of the videos where my face is obscured. I guess there was some lingering thought in the back of my mind that if her accounts were not locked down super well, and if she had been hacked, then the videos could have been made public. Now, there's an implication she makes a few different times that I'm basically blackmailing her with these videos.
Somebody asked if you had any intention of getting any sort of like law enforcement involved, but I feel like you answered this where you just want to try to compel him to delete whatever he has on you, and that's like like the extent of your interest.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about what to do, but we'll see.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex or threatening to send them anywhere. So she has no reason to believe that I would.
I don't think she ever claimed it. She just said she's scared about it because she knows because Tom told her, dude, I have this file. I have this file called the just in case file, related to one of my first exes. So yeah, it's reasonable for like this girl to be like a little nervous, like this guy has a file, one of his first exes. What if what if he's like keeping a file on me in case I speak out? But I don't remember Rowan ever making a post saying that like Tom threatened to have blackmail. I think the only post is just Tom showed me a blackmail folder that he has on another girl.
Would ever release them. The idea that I, a person who makes a living as a public figure, would publicly release videos of me fucking my
I have a worse file on you.
ex-girlfriend to get
The little fruity files are far worse than the Ricky files.
back at her is so insane. Not only would that incur reputational harm beyond belief, but also serious legal consequences. The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan. Days after I broke up.
This is a fair point. You know, it really isn't a good look for you to, as a man especially, to just start releasing revenge porn. I guess the counter, if you really wanted to, it was like he could pretend that he was hacked and then release it on on an anonymous profile, claiming to be a hacker that hacked into one of Tom's accounts and got access to it. So that's why it makes it seem like Tom's the victim as well, and also embarrass his ex. But that's stretching a lot.
Up with her, she, without my consent, sent the only image she has of us having sex to the owner of Kiwi Farms. Here, listen to him describe it.
Oh, and one other thing, I forgot about this, but you actually, Sacramento had sent me a picture that was like censored. Apparently the only picture that he would send you is one where his face isn't clearly visible in it, but you can,
Yes.
I can tell the desk, like his computer is moved onto the table, but I can still see like the monster is like on the cozy that's like on the table, like in the exact same position. So I can tell that's clearly his desk.
I guess I just find it ironic that someone who's accusing me of blackmailing her with her nudes literally sent a picture of us having sex to a man that she has never met. Now, Josh,
I don't think that happened. You know, I could be wrong. I don't remember Sacramento ever making that post on Kiwi Farms. And I assume it's not there because I'm assumed he'd attach it. He'd attach it to the video. He'd attach a screenshot of the post here on the video.
recounts seeing this image and talks about how hard it looks like I was grabbing Rowan on the mouth, essentially using it as evidence to support another claim she makes that I am too rough during sex, which I find very interesting because after I sent Rowan this photo, she texted me saying, "I like when you cover my mouth like that." Again, she texts me asking me to send her the videos, and she says, "Yeah, whenever you're not..."
Alright, the fuck is this? She says, "Okay, bye-bye. I'm gonna take my Joe Rogan calm pills." Tom says, "Joe Rogan is a wise, old, bald player. Listen to him intently." She says, "Yeah, whatever. You're not locked in. Send the videos. It will fix me for about a week." Goon sesh. So again, she's begging for the videos. Tom never sent it.
You're not locked in, send the videos. It will fix me for about a week. Goon sesh. This is clear evidence that she has no problem with these videos existing. To this day, she has provided zero proof that the videos were recorded non-consensually or that I was blackmailing her with them, or that I had any intention of sending them to anyone. Reason being, I never did any of those things. In Rowan's interview, she claims that I never asked for consent to film these sex acts, and says that she wouldn't notice I was filming until 30 seconds to 1 minute into it.
I'm not sure of an exact date, but maybe like 2 or 3 months into our relationship, he he never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record, and I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone, but in them, it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera from the moment the video starts. She never once questions why I'm filming or what I'm doing, because the reality is that every single time we recorded, I had explicit permission. Ask yourself, how could she possibly have never consented to filming when she's literally holding my phone next to her face as she sucks my dick? In the interview, she says that what really concerns her is that I wouldn't...
All right, I think that's a good response to the allegations of him not consensually recording her. I think right now it's far more likely that she was probably the first one to bring it up, and that it was planned to do it. Like maybe maybe if you really want to sweep for the girl, you might say that like they agreed to record it before they started doing it. But when Tom actually started recording, he didn't actually say. But that's retarded as fuck. That's retarded as fuck. I don't think Tom was like not consensually recording this girl.
send her any of the sexual videos we took.
I had asked him multiple times if he could please send me the videos, so like he's not the only one who has videos of me naked, and he either ignored the question or was just like, no.
As I said earlier, I was paranoid to send these videos to anyone, even her, for fear of them leaking. Weirdly, in messages at the time, she seems to actually get it, saying, I want to see them videos, goon.
That still probably isn't reasonable. You should probably expect for him to send the videos back.
Time before following up by saying that she actually understands why I'm scared to send them to her. Now we're going to fast forward to October 17th in our text, and Rowan says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I reply, yes, I do sometimes, actually. Rowan responds that she's thinking about that right now, and then says, quote, need that big white cock. It's also kind of
Hold on. I spaced out. The fuck is this? She says, do you ever go back and watch your videos? He says, good morning. Yes, I do. Sometimes. Actually. She says, I'm thinking about that right now. Soon, sweetie Tom. Have a good day. You too, Rowan. I miss you.
She's thinking about that right now, and then says, quote, need that big white cock. It's also kind of strange to me that at the time she referred to them as our videos, but in the present, she's claiming she doesn't even want them to exist. On November 6th, Rowan...
I don't know how that's confusing. Like, yeah, I would expect girl to be fine with when you're in a relationship to be okay with the videos existing, and then once the relationship is over, for you to delete them.
Someone asked me why I never ask her for nudes. I say I have a bunch of videos already, and that's why. She does not express that she has a problem with me.
Or what is this? Oh, the screenshots of you shirtless are my goon material. He says, if you say so. She says, you never asked me for nude. He says, I have a bunch of videos already. That's why, Rowan. She says, oh yeah, you got a file.
Having the videos, she doesn't complain about it. She doesn't say they were taken without her consent. In fact, throughout the entire relationship, she was sending me nude photos of herself unsolicited every single month. Why would you send nude photos of yourself to someone you think could use them against you? Rowan personally posted dozens of screenshots of our texts, and not a single one shows her bringing up any of the videos being non-consensual. Another interesting fact is that during our breakup, she texted me a pros and cons list, which she apparently...
Fuck is this? Alright, pros and cons. Pros. Sweet sometimes. Dates are nice. Tries to make it work. Funny. Pays for meals. Makes me feel secure. Muscles. And then what? What is this? A long list of cons? I chopped in the face. And things were matched in looks. Cheated on ex. Follows his friends around like a dog. Seems depressed all the time. No surprises. Takes hours to respond. So dry and vague. Rarely compliments me. Doesn't leave his house. Online all the time. No hobbies other than gym or video games. Talks about other women lustfully in front of me. Follows Instagram models slash OF girls. Even when I asked him to stop. No romance. Doesn't seem to want to support me at all in the future. Seems like he still feels some type of way towards his ex. Every time I bring up a valid concern, he says I'm nice to you. Though, so stop complaining. Sent dick pics to Belle Delphine copycat before. Sex is all about him. Ran through. Looks up Sam Hyde unironically. Said he likes hurting me during sex, even when I bleed. Seems kind of self-obsessed. Doesn't ever talk about us, just him. Doesn't really seem to care about my goals at all. Everything is all about him. I do the bare minimum, therefore you're not allowed to feel upset. Ah damn, man. That's a fuck ton of cons. Did I miss it, or and this isn't just him revealing it? I don't think Sacramento posted it.
Another interesting fact is that during our breakup, she texted me a pros and cons list, which she apparently had written about me on January 4th of 2026.
All right, so this is around the time when they're about to break up. So this is like towards the end of their relationship.
And in the con section, she complains about a lot of things, but she doesn't mention non-consensual videos whatsoever. With that out of the way, we can move on to Rowan's claim.
Yeah, I think that's final nail for like the allegation of him, not consensually recording videos when they're fucking.
That I was sexually abusive towards her. In that same pros and cons list, Rowan wrote, says he likes hurting me during sex and making me bleed. This also reflects her public claims about me, but the great irony is that I never even said this. She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying,
Alright, she says, lol we mog. He says, so true. She says, I'm such a sick freak. I like it when I hurt and bleed after. Something wrong.
saying, quote, I'm such a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something wrong. In one of her public-facing posts about me, she posts an interaction which reads as follows. She says, quote, like, we don't need to do it 3 times in one day, or do it so hard I hurt and bleed. And I said, well, if you don't want to have as much sex, we don't gotta. We can do other things. And she says, okay, I like doing other things too. The way this screenshot is cropped, it comes across like I'm some, just super callous freak who's brutally jackhammering her vagina like Steve mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response.
Which one? Which of these is first? Alright. Alright, so this is like right after when she says, okay, I like doing other things too. He says, for the record, you are just as lustful in this regard as I am. I am not alone. She says, I'm a freak. He says, the BWC addiction has taken a hold, it seems. She says, but also I want it to be special in the future when we are more serious. I know it has. He says, but yeah, I do consider sex with you special. I don't consider it fleeting or silly. She says, I do too. I always miss it. I like kissing you just as much. He says, I do too. She says, I say this, and then as soon as I see you, I'm gonna be freaky again. Shaking my head, I can't resist. Are you just waiting in the airport? Oh yeah. How much more context does this give? What, that he hasn't I don't think this changes any of the context of the previous screenshot. Am I wrong? All right, let's continue on with the video.
Response to me after that is, I'm a freak. I say this, and as soon as I see you, I'm going to be freaky again. I can't resist. In the interview, she elaborates on this even more, specifically claiming that she would bleed almost every time we had sex.
Okay, and you would bleed the
Yes.
same? And you didn't stop?
Yeah, I would bleed almost every time.
This is just blatantly untrue as well, and it's easy to see by going through our text messages. On August 17th of 2025,
All right, what is this? She says, Tom, I started my period. He says, that sucks. I'm 40 away. She says, okay, do you mind getting your sword bloody? He says, I'll be okay, lol. She says, okay, what do you mean by that? He says, I'm driving, shut up. No, I don't mind. She says, okay, hee hee. The mass starts at 5:30, I believe. So we have some time before. Says epics. She says, they low-key wrecked my apartment. It's okay though. Bro, what the fuck is this? Bro transition from mafia boss to child molester. The fuck's the
the
context
day
of that?
after my birthday, Rowan and I were planning to go to Mass, and she wanted to have sex with me. So she texted me saying, Tom, I started my period. I was driving, so I couldn't say much, but I replied by saying, that sucks, I'm 40 minutes away. She follows up by asking me if I mind getting my sword bloody, and I say I'll be okay. So if it wasn't already clear, she's asking me if I'm okay with getting blood on my dick. Why would this be something she's even asking if every time we have sex, I'm making her bleed? Keep in mind, this is months into us going out and being sexually active.
This is retarded. Like obviously there's gonna be a difference in blood volume when she's on her period and when she's like cut up from not using lube. I don't think that message exchange matters at all.
And she's still worried that the idea of bleeding during sex would gross me out. Now, as soon as she began posting about me, people were naturally perplexed by her claim that she was bleeding from sex every single time. They asked if she had some kind of medical problem, and she says, I have no health issue that I know of, never bled during sex before. It was the aggression. Just gave into it after a while and told him I liked it, but I bled after almost every single time. I feel like most of this statement has already been dispelled, but even the smallest detail of no medical condition that I know of is also false. On September 24th of 2025,
What is this? I'm taking Nexbolon out and switching to the pill. He says, okay, this thing is terrible. The more I think about it, I have month-long periods. And I censored. Also, I feel like it makes me feel so weird. Could not be good for you.
Rowan texted me saying that she's going to switch from her current birth control, Nexplanon, to the pill because she has month-long periods that cause her to bleed. So, regardless of sex, Rowan admittedly bleeds for an entire month at a time. One of Rowan's main criticisms is that I'm
This obviously isn't what the keyword farmer user is asking about when asking do you have a medical condition? He's asking do you have some condition where you don't get wet or you don't get wet enough, so you need lube. At least that's how I read it. I didn't read it as do you have some condition that just makes you bleed? Retarded.
too rough. In fact, she describes our sexual interactions as intense, violent aggression every single time.
I genuinely did think that he would maybe change and stop being so aggressive, because he told me before that he would kind of chill out, but he never did chill out, and it kept being the same very intense, violent aggression every single time.
She also alleges that I hit, choked, and beat her without asking, essentially painting me as an abusive partner.
Unfortunately, I did still stay with him, and I know a lot of people seem to have a lot of questions about that, and honestly, you were completely correct to question my judgment as to why I stayed with him, even though he was, hitting and choking and beating me.
There's this idea she's trying to paint that in the relationship, I was constantly pushing this rough, violative sex onto her, and even though she didn't like it and was being abused, she stayed with me. I've seen some people question her saying things like, well, if you hated it, why didn't you just leave? But realistically, sometimes people do stay with abusive partners, and I don't want to invalidate their stories through my response. The real reason that she didn't leave is because she loved having sex with me, and throughout our entire relationship was constantly begging me to validate her fantasies. In this first screenshot here,
All right, what's this? She says, have you seen tomorrow's teachings? He says, yes, it's fire. I wish I was falling asleep with it in. He says, that seems kind of painful and awkward, but it would be epic. She says, oh, never mind then. Freak unmatched. He says, will we have sleep sex, dream sex? She says, nah, but I'm for real a freak. Like, I want to be kidnapped. On some RS. What the fuck is RS? On some rape shit? Like, I want to be kidnapped on some rape shit. Yeah. He says, what made you like that, do you think? She says, nothing. He says, maybe it was just strange cards? She says, I don't know, man. I don't know if kidnapped is the right word. Oh, real shit. All right, that that makes more sense. That makes more sense, go.
she expresses that
Thank you,
she is
little
a
freak.
real freak and says that she wants me to kidnap her, even saying, I want to be tied up, taken to the woods, and pounded. So maybe there's something wrong with me. I respond by saying that we should not have sex in the woods, and she says, you nervous? There's something wrong with me. I respond by saying that we should not have sex.
All right, the fuck does he say? I don't think we should have sex in the woods, to be honest. But in the privacy of a bedroom, that's fine. Go, come on, come over, Rose. I'll show you if I'm a freak. Come over. All right, Tom says, I don't think we should have sex in the woods, to be honest, but in the privacy of a bedroom, that's fine. She says, I see, I get that. You nervous? He says, imagine how it would look if someone came across that. She says, that's why you gotta go like a mile in. He says, but I'm just in the woods. She says, yeah. And then he says, I don't want to have sex in the woods. All right.
Sex in the woods. And she says, you nervous? Right here in this next one, Rowan says, I yearn to be.
All right, she says, I yearn to be manhandled and led across the dark room. He says, you're like a dungeon person. She says, what? Manhandled and led across a dark room? She says, yeah, that's why I like you. Because you are like, you're like a caveman. And I feel small next to you. I'm tapped into my natural instincts. And then he just ends. The fucking picture of
Be
the caveman.
manhandled and led across a dark room. That's why I like you. I reply saying, you are like a dungeon person. And she says, you are big like a caveman and I feel small next to you. In fact, anytime I wanted to have more loving, slow, I guess sensual intercourse with Rowan in the bedroom, she actually had a problem with that. I remember one specific instance where I was being more slow and sensual, and I remember her whispering in my ear saying, I want you to pound me. And that's probably why on June 5th, 2025, she texted me saying, I need to get face fucked for an hour. And I replied by
She says, well, yeah, I'm hypnotized by that dick. He says, you give good head. I miss it. She says, yeah, I need to get face fucked for an hour. Says, damn, exams suck.
by saying, damn, exams suck. On June 7th, she texts me and says, I'm excited to get fucked borderline.
All right, he says, okay, I'll probably get there at like 6:30ish and a bit after. She says, okay, so earlier, yeah. Tom says, yeah. Okay, leaving now. I think I'll get there about 7. She says, okay, excited to get fucked borderline domestically violently.
domestic violently. At one point in the interview, she states that one time I was angry at my ex-girlfriend, and that the next time we had sex, I was particularly aggressive. This is a very strange thing to accuse me of, given that on October 13th, Rowan says verbatim.
Alright, the fuck is this? She says, fuck, sometimes I want to fight with you, just so you get more angry when you fuck me. Something wrong. No more of that though. Tom says, yeah, be nice to me, I'm a nice guy. That's some kind of loose screw you gotta screw in. She says, yeah, I'm nice to you. but I do like that though, without the fighting. You know what I mean? I'm a nice girl. I'll call you in a few hours. He says, okay, sounds good. Give me a bit, sorry. Important phone call.
Sometimes I want to fight you just so you be more angry when you fuck me. She clarifies, saying, I do like that though, even without the fighting. So at every opportunity, this girl is publicly saying, oh my god, look at all this horrible.
Alright, but before we continue on, I like the point of the girl telling the story of how I'll give more context. Sacramento, I think in the interview with Noel said that after so Tom's first ex was Kai, and Tom was friends with this other YouTuber called Lyrics. Now Liam. His ex Kai ends up cheating on Tom with his YouTube friend Liam. And then years later, Liam and Kai get together again. And Tom's in Sacramento in the Noel interview told the story of when Tom found out that Kai and Liam were streaming together, he got mad and took it out on her. And I guess what the messages Tom is showing, saying that she liked she liked the roughness. It still doesn't address the claim that he would refuse to use lube. I don't think there's messages about it. He does even Sacramento in one of the Kiwi Farms posts says, yeah, I just pretended I told him that I liked it when I bleed, just to go along with it. But it doesn't disprove that, after some time she probably did tell Tom to start using lube, and he never did.
Shit he did to me. And then she's texting me that she wants me to kidnap her, tie her up, and pound her in the woods. And if anyone is putting up any resistance to that, it's me. She once again lies about weird little things in the interview. Like she says that I was her second boyfriend.
He was my second boyfriend.
And when I heard this, I was very confused because she told me that I was her third. In my opinion, she said this to make herself seem less sexual.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This girl lied about her body count? Oh no. Oh no. She said it was 2 instead of 3. Damn, this bitch a liar. This bitch a liar for real.
Sexually experienced than she really is, to make the case stronger that I was taking advantage of her. Now, in this next post, she writes, again, I'm not alleging anything illegal, just that he would hit and choke because he was a super gooner. Sort of normalize it in my head, but it's definitely not okay to do that. So for information on how I supposedly normalize this behavior, let's go back to the beginning of our relationship and see what our conversations about sex were like. On Wednesday, May 14th, after only hanging out with Rowan once.
Alright, Rowan says, but yeah, tomorrow, are you excited? He says, yes, I am. Are you? Rowan says, yes. Demon emoji. Alright. I already know it's massive. He says, you're a genius for knowing. She says, I could sense the aura.
Once, she texted me saying she's excited to hang out with me again, and she already knows my penis is massive, without me saying anything sexual to her at this point. So as you might suspect, we did have intercourse on our second date, and after this first sexual encounter, Rowan texts me saying, quote, rape thing is so hot.
All right. She says, hope you made it back safe. Tom says, I did. It was a nice drive, actually. She says, yeah, raping was so hot, but I never did that before. You should tie me up next time. Hee. Then he says, consensual sex is good. She then says, you know what I meant by that? I don't know what to call it. He says, yeah, I get it.
I never did that before. You should tie me up next time. My response to this is consensual sex is good. And she says, you know what I meant by that. I don't know what to call it. So from the very first interaction we had,
Dude, I could be a little schizophrenic, but I feel like him replying with consensual sex is good. I feel like this is him like covering his ass. Because this is what, like May 15th? This is like a few months in to them dating. I feel like he just replies with this. But like if it gets screenshot, it doesn't look that bad. It's a little schizo, but I don't know. That's a vibe. That's the vibe I get off it.
and she says, you know what I meant by that. I don't know what to call it. So from the very first interaction we have, she calls our sex rape for some reason, saying how hot it is, to which I clarify that it was consensual, and she says, I know what you mean. And for the record, I never indulged in her fantasy to be tied up, just not something I was interested in any way. And we also never did anything in the woods, in case you're curious about that. To hammer this point home, let's go over some more texts where Rowan talks about sex. On Friday, May 16th, she texts me asking when I'm free and says that she needs my, quote, big...
Alright, the fuck is this? She says, when are you free? Next week. Says, maybe Friday perhaps. She says, okay. I missed that big ass dick. He says, wow. Don't say but yeah. Just say it's large. And in charge in some areas. What, she says ass? It is and I need it. Good morning. Okay.
Dick. And I say, don't say and she says, it is, and I need it. On May 18th, Rowan says she's not used to being with someone with as big of a dick as...
Alright, she says, yeah, I know I should start lifting or whatever. I just like to run and stuff. Also, I'm sorry I started tweaking when we had sex. I've never been with someone who's as big as you. And I hurt a little, not gonna lie. He says, you're a good lol, it's okay. I found it to be a nice experience overall, fun and enjoyable. She says, okay, we redo, but I'm not gonna be a pussy next time. She replies to a previous message saying, me too. I see you soon.
As mine. She says that it hurt her, but she wants to do it again, and she won't be a pussy about it. Some of her public claims about me are more desperate and weird than others. Like she complains that I didn't eat her out.
Like, he never once ate me out, but he would demand that I would constantly suck his dick. And, like, yeah.
But here is a text message of me directly telling her, look, I'm a selfish lover, and she says, it's okay.
All right. She says, I want to sit on your face so bad. I don't know if you're an eater, though. Tom says, not gonna lie, I'm not. I'm a selfish lover. She says, lol, that's okay. He says, sorry. She says, it's okay. I like sucking dick more than getting eaten out. I'm a real freak. He says, big win. Not gonna lie, that's a big win.
Okay, I like sucking dick more than getting eaten out. I'm a real freak. Despite her acting like I am a like sexual degenerate, repeatedly doing sex acts she doesn't enjoy, here she is saying, you match my
All right, she says, yeah, we can do that tomorrow or Sunday. It's up to you. Tom says, probably should. So Sunday, I should stay locked in till then. She says, okay. Sorry, I'm anxious to see you too. I kind of miss you a little bit. You match my freak, kind of.
Freak, kind of. Not you're too freaky or we've been too freaky. She says that I match her freak. Here in this next one, she says, I'm getting on my knees as soon as I see you, by the way, freak mode. In this next one, I give a little bit.
All right, Tom says, was thinking about the pussy just now. Are you still sick right now? Or just jealous? Then she just replies with, Uh, the mail, I'm not so sick. I'll see you tomorrow, King. He says I will address only as Pharaoh. Uh, she says, you gonna tear it up or what? He says that's a plan.
Bit of input. I tell her I'm thinking about her pussy, and she responds to me saying, "You gonna tear it up or what?" Now, my question for you in the audience would be, do people who are into slow, romantic, candlelit sex describe intercourse as their pussy getting torn up? I would say probably not. Here in this next one, she says she's going to leave mass.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a reply. That doesn't sound like crusty as hell. But this isn't like like asking to be torn up isn't like some like rare like reply bitches give.
Early on Sunday to go get some.
All right. She says, my mom want me to go to early mass with her tomorrow, so I'll probably just leave from there. Leave at mass to go get some dick. He says should be awesome. And then she's replying to a message from Tom where he says, "Aha, that's no sport I've heard of. I'm more into jerking type shit." She says, "You type like a fanfiction."
Dick. And keep in mind, I don't want to reveal any of this information, okay? I don't want to be saying this. I don't want to be here right now. And I would never intend on sexually shaming an ex-partner. But she's gone out of her way to not only shame me, but also to lie in an effort to paint me as some gooner, freak, borderline rapist.
I don't think he's fully lying. That he didn't plan on releasing most of these messages. But some of the messages he's shown aren't really needed. I mean, I don't really care that much because she also released messages that weren't needed. Really, like the majority. Actually, no, like all of it, all of her allegations were just embarrassed Tom. So I don't really feel that bad for the girl. Because like Tom's releasing like extra messages that he doesn't really have to.
So let's keep going. Here, Rowan makes a post saying that I am a Patrick Bateman gooner because I flexed in the mirror after we had sex. But the strange part about this is that I have a text of her saying, quote, "I keep thinking about how hot."
Alright, the fuck did she say? I keep thinking about how hot it was watching myself take your big dick in the mirror. Gooner as fuck, sorry. He says, it was pretty good, yes. Also, good morning.
It was watching myself take your big dick in the mirror. Gooner as fuck, sorry. Reading through what she says about me publicly, it's like every accusation she makes towards me is actually some kind of confession to her own behavior. On June 25th, she texts me wondering if she can get...
Well, no, the Patrick Bateman thing is just it's just for people can laugh at you. They call you a loser. But what's this? What's this? She says, the image is AI generated of me and my friend into men. Her boy version mogged me. Do you think I'll be able to give head after I get my wisdom teeth out or not? What the fuck is that message? Tom says, not for a week or two, which is fine. But yeah, it will hurt in a serious way. You won't be able to open your mouth for a while. She says, no. I do it as much as possible before. Tom says, when does the wisdom teeth meme happen? Then she says, July 17th, I think. So plenty of time. She says, Sophia's gonna be staying with me. Still, I'm gonna make her ass take care of me. She's really not that crazy. I think I overhyped the craziness when I explained the situation.
Give me head after getting her wisdom teeth taken out. She obviously wouldn't be able to do that because it causes your face to swell up like a blimp. And she responds with, no, I got to do it as much as possible before. Here, Rowan's asking me, am I the tightest, most perfect girl you ever fucked? On July 2nd, she says, I miss that big dick so much. I'm under spells. On July 5th, I bring up us wearing condoms, and Rowan says, ew, no, and then tells me that she wants me to cream pie her, and that she's a real freak. After I say happy birthday, sweetie, for her
So he's just spamming messages to embarrass her, which I don't I don't feel bad for her that Tom is doing this, because she did the same thing. But you're retarded if you're like denying Tom is doing this, that he's doing it on purpose.
21st, she says that all she wants for her birthday is my big white cock. In this next one, she texts me saying, I miss feeling like I'm going to break in half, not gonna lie. In this next one, she says, I like when you make me choke on it and call me a good girl. On July 23rd, she says, can I come over and suck on it Friday night? Which I don't accept. I tell her that I'm busy. She then says, I have the big white cock addiction.
Bro, I'm chat. I think we get the point. I think we get the point.
Interestingly enough, in this next one, she's asking me if I can have sex with her while holding her in the air, essentially, and tells me that I should try to do it. Once again, a pretty bizarre thing to ask someone to do who allegedly has been abusing you for 3 months by now with overly rough sex. On July 21st, she starts off by texting me, I hate gooner men, and then not even 1 minute later, she says, I need that big white.
I don't really remember like her saying like he was abusing me. I think she said like borderline abuse because she couldn't really like find a word to describe Tom. Like I think just the proper word for like the allegations she was saying is just that like Tom's an asshole. Tom's inconsiderate.
On August 23rd, she says, whenever I wake up without my morning Tom facefuck, I am sad. On September 2nd, she expresses that she wished she lived closer to me, but if she did, it would be an issue because she would want to come suck my dick all the time. On September 17th, she sends me an Instagram reel of someone praying the rosary. I don't respond, and she follows up by saying, I miss that dick so much. Here in this next photo, she sends me a picture of her in lingerie with the caption, when it's rape time, and after she said that, all I did was respond with a photo of the movie Just Friends. On Thursday, September 25th at 7:30 a.m., Rowan says, I hope you come. I got something special for our rape times. I say, change that to consensual sexual encounters, and she says, I know. She expands on this particular message and says, are you mad at me?
It's like again with this, I feel like he says this. So like it's in the screenshot. So like that he's like covering his ass here.
And she says, I know. She expands on this particular message and says, are you mad at me? I know it's consensual. So even as we're approaching over 4 months of being together, she's still telling me that our sex is consensual and that she likes it. Now that I've gone through a lot of our messages, I think it's pertinent that we get into the month of October. This is the month that Rowan has publicly...
Would you not cover your ass, Ricky? Would you not want to cover your ass too? Bro, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I wouldn't cover my ass. I wouldn't cover my ass. I'm not a coward. I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid. I ain't a coward like you, little fruity. I wouldn't cover my ass.
Claimed there was one specific incident that occurred during which she asked me to stop having sex with her and I did not. To be perfectly clear, this never happened. But just to have some fun, we can go through our text day by day in this month to see which day this horrific incident could have possibly occurred. On October text, I did not. To be perfectly clear, incident that occurred during which
text with my roommate confirming sexual violence. Bro, I don't remember this at all.
she asked me to stop having sex with her, and I did not. To be perfectly clear, this never happened. But just to have some fun, we can go through our texts day by day in this month to see which day this horrific incident could have possibly occurred. On October 2nd, she texted me saying, "You are perfect." On October 3rd and 4th, we hung out. She asked me if I got home okay, and she says that I am her formal date in her heart. She then says that she hates when anyone comments on her body, even in a positive way, and I tell her that
Alright, the fuck is this? She says, "I'm really trying to gain weight because I hate when people talk about my body, even when it's a nice way. It's just weird as fuck. Would you ever tell a fat person how fat they are? But it's okay to come up to you and be like, you're so skinny and so tiny." He says, "True. It's not worth the time or anything. That's what I've been saying. Much more fun to eat slop and go for a walk and go to the movies. It's beautiful even like you." And then she says, "Agreed." Thank you, nigga. The bar scene here is just it's just one massive bar that you have to wait in a huge line for an hour. And I was irrationally angry at those septum girls in front of me.
she should eat slop and go for a walk and not worry about it, and that she is beautiful. On October 8th, she continues being sexual, complimenting my arm. She then resends me a meme that says, "Me if I do not have violent sex very soon." On October 8th, she also says, "I miss my handsome husband." Here, I tell her I landed in Texas. She says, "I miss sucking on it." She then texts me saying, "You got to start putting rape time in your reminders." On October 9th, she says that she wants to hang out. I say I arrived. On October 10th, she says, "Let me know when you get back safe. I always have such a fun time with you." On October 14th, she says she wishes she was waking up to me in the morning. And she then expresses sadness that I'm not moving closer to the city where she's from to live near her. She then states that her life has improved since meeting me because previously she was partying and going out, and now she spends time with me. On October 15th, she says, "I started my period. I wish I could come suck on it." And that evening, she says, "I would kill myself if I had to talk to any other man but you." I say, "That's true. I'm a nice guy." And she says, "Yeah, I'm the bad guy." On October 17th, we've already read this, but this is once again where she says, "Do you ever go back and watch our videos?" And I say, "Yeah, I do sometimes actually." And she responds to me that she's thinking about that right now and says, quote, "Need that big white cock. In the mirror, you deadass look like the Hulk compared to me." Now, one thing to note here is that at no point does she express that the videos were taken without her consent. Once again, I just want to have that hammered down here. On October 19th, she texts me saying she needs my milk right now. She then says, "I miss my perfect jacked boyfriend," and that night she sends me nudes. At 10 p.m., she sends me a photo of a guy with a clock in his hand and says, "I need that dick." On October 21st, I sent her a bicep photo. She responds saying, "You look good, Tom. I can't wait to suck your dick." She says, "I love you. You're a great boyfriend." She then says, "You never officially asked me to be your girlfriend," to which I say that we did. On October 23rd, there's proof we hung out that day. She then says, "Text me when you get home safe," and I say, "I made it." She also texted me saying, "I love when my bed smells like your musk." On October 24th, she says, "Good night. You're the best boyfriend ever." October 25th, she sends me a photo of herself in a deer outfit and says, "Meow, I miss Tom's big white dick." That night, she says, "I'm going to send you ass pics tomorrow." On October 26th, we've read this one before, but here she says, "Next time during our epic rape time, you can tie me up." I say, "You mean consensual sex?" And she follows it up by saying, "You know what I mean, Tom, rough sex." Once again, these are really weird messages to be sending to someone that you now claim is sexually abusing you on a weekly basis. Now that evening, the evening of October 26th, we can see that I hang out at Rowan's house and I sleep over. Then there's a text that shows that I'm leaving and mentioned that I took my friend to the hospital. On October 27th, she says that she hopes I'm doing well. She loves me so much. On October 30th, she says that we'll be married in 2 years. October 31st at 12:30 in the morning, she texts me and says, "I had a nightmare you broke up with me. Oh my God." She then says that I should cut a hole in my Batman suit for my dick. On October 31st in the afternoon, she says, "Oh Tom, I yearn for the big white cock." On November 1st at 1:20 a.m., she says, "Up? No good night? I love you? Yeah, it's fucking over." I tell her that I'm falling asleep, and she says, "You was madly in love with her and not me. I'm gonna myself." I tell her, "Good night, I'll see you tomorrow." And I then say, "Do not say anything like that ever again." Now, for a little more context on this specific message and what she's talking about here, during our entire relationship, she was extremely insecure about the fact that before I was with her, I had lived with a girl and she wanted me to basically show more commitment in the relationship than I was willing to show, as far as like moving physically closer to her. And at a few points she suggested that we move in together, and I said, you know, it's just too soon. We're not really ready for that. I don't think that makes sense after dating for just a few months to move in together. So that's the context of this. She would constantly bring up shit and compare herself to my ex, or ex-sexual partners in general, but my ex-girlfriend. And I was like, don't say stuff like that. Like, I'm dating you right now. Stop worrying about this. So later on in the night, she texts me saying, "Mass is needed. I am such a sweet girl and have love in my heart for you. I know this." And this carries into the morning, where she says, "Hi, my sweet love." The next day around noon, she says, "Sorry for being kind of bitchy. Let me know when you're on your way." I say that I have arrived. We take a photo in our Halloween outfits. And on November 2nd, I say that I made it home. And she says that she hopes that I have a good day. So we've now made it through the entire month of October, and there's no indication of any kind of abuse, any kind of mistreatment, or even really anything negative. But almost every single day, she says something about how she loves me, how I'm perfect, how everything is good, and she keeps sending me sexual stuff the entire time without me even asking. At the risk of belaboring the point, I do want to go through a few more messages just for the hell of it, just so I can confidently show that she was extremely sexual the entire time and never expressed any reservations about the sex we were having. On Wednesday, November...
No, he's probably showing. He's probably just gonna show more messages, just to embarrass her even more. Again, I don't really feel bad for the girl, because she did the same thing. Not really to like the same amount, but she was the first one to do it.
5th, out of nowhere, she texts me saying, "I'm trying to make you nut." I just don't respond. On December 12th, she sends me nudes again. Kind of a weird thing to send to someone who apparently has sexual blackmail on you again, is it not? On December 24th, she says that I am a sweetie pie. She's grateful for me. She wants to make me nut again, in her words, and she hopes we're married for a long time. On January 2nd, she sends me a naked photo of herself again, unprompted. And the morning of January 8th, Rowan texts me saying that before she comes to visit me, she needs to know that my dick is working. Less than 36 hours later, I broke up with her. So as you can see, the texts don't lie. Rowan was blatantly the more sexual one in the relationship. I've produced evidence of this nearly every single week, and she didn't produce any because there isn't any. But apart from the idea that I filmed her without her consent, and apart from the idea that I was a sexually abusive partner, she actually made some other claims as well. So another claim she made is that I encouraged her eating disorder.
Yeah, I told him very early on, like, hey, like, I've struggled with eating issues in the past, and I'm kind of still trying to gain some weight and make sure everything's okay. And he would tell me, "Oh, I love how skinny you are. I like how small you are, you know, like, I love how your body is like skinny," and like just say all this stuff that was incredibly hard to hear.
This is also a pretty serious claim, and if true, would undoubtedly make me a pretty fucked up guy. But it's just not true. Here, I directly discourage her eating.
Alright, the fuck is this? She says, "I need to gain weight because my doctor said I am underweight again and it kind of sucks. I just don't know how to go about it because I've been underweight my entire life." Tom says, "Probably just eating a lot of food, feeling fuller than you want to. But that's the game." She says, "Yeah, it sucks because I want to look like a Barbie, but it's not healthy to starve Max." Tom says, "True, it's not. It's very bad for you. So don't. If you eat well and exercise, you'll be toned anyway. It won't really matter till you put on some weight." She says, "Yeah, you're right." Tom says, "You're very skinny right now. And you'll have very good progress right away if you work out." I missed that time. She says, "Yeah, I know I should start lifting or whatever. I just like to run and stuff." And we already read that. So like the point she was bringing up in the podcast was kind of related to like the age play allegations made against Tom. I don't have their messages memorized, but like the messages Rowan was referring to, that I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm confusing the girls, but like Tom really like the like size comparisons where it's like I like that my dick is so big compared to your small flat tits, or that or like making like other comparisons that I like that I'm big and strong and you're and you're small and petite. The weird comments like that, which aren't like directly saying like that, they're not really like encouraging like whatever like eating disorder she has, or like saying uh it's not like directly saying, you know, I want you to stay super skinny. It probably is just like it probably in Tom's head he's saying these comments thinking that she likes it. Like Tom thinks like it's like his weird freak little comments are like compliments, or and then the woman is being a woman and like overthinking it and feeling insecure about it. That's probably the situation there.
Disorder, even giving her advice on gaining weight. And I say starving yourself is very bad for you. In this next screenshot, she says she used to be thick, but she self-nuked.
All right, and then he says, "You look the same more or less. I guess you lost some weight, but I don't know, but for attractive." Then she says, "Yeah, I did. I tried to gain it back a little. I was in my prime. I just don't like how my face looks when I'm fatter." And Tom says fatter is a funny way to say it. "I think you should do whatever makes you happy and healthiest."
Say you look the same more or less. I guess you lost some weight, but I think both are attractive. This next one, she says that she feels
All right, what's this? She says, "I need the looks max. More. I'm skinny fat, I fear, during my school. I literally walk 12 miles a day, so I'm exhausted by the time I get home, though." Tom says, "I wouldn't say that, but working out is good for everyone regardless."
skinny fat. I say I don't agree, and I say that working out is good. And this next one, she sends
I just had brain blasts. Big brain blasts. All right. I think Tom knows. He doesn't really care to respond to the point that he's claiming that she was saying that he was in. Well, actually no. Sacramento is saying that he indirectly supported my eating disorder by making like the size comparison comments, and he's making like this like large response here. He's like taking like the time here in the video just to air out like how insecure she really is about her weight, to show all the messages he can to embarrass her even more.
me an image that says nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, and I say that's a sickening image. Now for those who don't know, this is like it's like a pro anorexia slogan, I guess you would call it. Here in this next screenshot, she asked me if I'd still like her if she gained weight, and I say yes. Here in this next one, I tell her explicitly she should eat more food and drink protein shakes to gain weight.
All right, the fuck is this? "I need to eat max. I'm 104. This is bad. Tom says perhaps you should consume something hearty and tasty like ribs." She says, "I always lose weight when school starts because I get stressed." He says, "Maybe drink protein shakes. That make it a bit easier." She says, "Yeah, I think I will. At the hospital, they made me drink those boost things because I kept refusing to eat the disgusting food, and I gained a lot of weight." He says, "That's a plan. That's a good plan. Don't want to end up in a bad situation with the weight, you know. Good to eat." She says, "Yeah, I was before it was real bad. Unfortunately, my cousin going through the same thing as me right now. She just lost her."
And I also tell her that gaining weight would be healthy for her, as well as saying, I just want you to be healthy. Here in this next one, I tell her that I find her sexy how she is, but that it could be healthy for her to gain 5 to 10 pounds. So this is now 7 instances of me actively discouraging her eating disorder, despite her lying and saying that I was egging it on. Now, one of the other allegations that Rowan has levied towards me is that I'm into age play. She's not alleging that I did it with her, she's alleging that I did it with another girl named Ellie, who I briefly talked to 2 years ago.
Bro. Come on. Is he gonna continue on with the video saying, "No, I don't like girls. that dress up as like a little girl. Bro, look at the room. Come on. Is he really gonna deny it? Let's see what he's gonna say.
Ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her 2 years ago.
There's no proof at all. There's no proof.
She's
at
alleging
all.
that I did it with another girl named Ellie.
Really? There's no proof at all. And this is the image you pick. Come on, dude.
Who I briefly talked to 2 years ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her about these allegations.
All right, what's this? So Ellie says, I mean, I don't really like to post it on my story. I don't feel like coming back to social media right now. But yeah, I've never done age play, lol. Tom says, you don't have to post yourself or whatever, it's fine. I'm sorry you're going through this whole thing. She says, would prefer if you could get people to like leave me the fuck out of it. We barely dated. Tom says, I'm going to try my best to minimize you even being talked about. Yeah. So here Ellie says, but you've never done age play, lol. Saying like, they didn't directly do like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to be 9. I'm not even gonna finish the thought. I'm not gonna finish the thought. But it probably, like, the age play wasn't like that direct. But like I already have a video on the channel. I think it's called something like Turkey Tom is a confirmed freak. Go watch it. And there you can see like all the different photos of this Ellie girl. And all the comments Tom made about liking like small petite girls. Also, while I'm on the topic, my own channel, it's a good time. If you're enjoying this stream, please leave a like and subscribe, goats. And after the stream, go ahead and watch that Turkey Tom video that I already have up on the channel. Let's get through like the final 12 minutes of this video.
And she clearly states that I've never done age play. An ex-girlfriend of mine named Kai, who I dated for 3 years, also publicly posted on Twitter saying that I never abused her and that we never did anything related to age play. So this brings the total counter up, saying that I never abused.
So I already went through this. I don't think I have a video up, but let's read it here. There has been a message circulating claiming that Tom and I participated in age play, which is a blatant twisting of the truth. So like, she's saying it's not completely made up. It's a twisting of the truth. Which again, I think probably just means it wasn't like as direct of being like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to be 7 years old and you're gonna be fucking 30. And that's gonna be like the weird fantasy. It's probably like other roleplay things, maybe like father-daughter or like teacher-student, like where they're not like directly saying I'm gonna be a minor, but like it's gonna be like really close. It's gonna be really close to that, where it's basically one person is gonna, pretend to be a minor without directly saying I'm gonna be a minor. I'm gonna be a little kid.
Her and that we never did anything related to age play. So this brings the total counter up to 5 people: Rowan, Katie, Ellie, Kai, and another random girl I banged a year ago named Maddie, who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And all of these people say that I never was into this fetish with them. The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex. It's a little embarrassing given that I am me. I accept that it's something people are going to see as a little bit strange. All I can really do at this point is accept that it's something that I've done, and I think that Rowan should accept it about herself too, given that she also called me daddy during sex and over text repeatedly. In the same vein as this accusation, Rowan
bro, nobody is thinking this like age play. Like a girl is calling you daddy. That's not what people are talking about. People are talking about when you're making like the weird comments about the other girl being so small, being flat chested, and allegedly like buying these girls like Hello Kitty pajamas.
Stated, one more thing to add I thought was odd. Never really expressed any interest in Hello Kitty or that type of e-girl stuff, but I had like one Hello Kitty figure in my car. As a gift, Tom bought me Hello Kitty pajamas and a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff. So Rowan essentially wants you to believe that I'm pushing Hello Kitty onto her as if I have some kind of weird fascination with it. But the truth is that I am a 23-year-old man and I don't give a fuck about Hello Kitty, okay? The only reason I bought her anything Hello Kitty themed at all, which was once, by the way, was because she frequently bought her anything Hello Kitty themed at all, which was once, by
All right, he's claiming it's once in July. All right.
the way, was because she frequently expressed interest in it. Here she is sending me a photo.
Is there a date here? Well, let's read the messages. Tom is saying, I like Zins, and I go through like 1 tin a day. Back home, I have a collection of like 500 cans. I've been saving up for something awesome. She sends a picture, I guess, of her desk, with like a printer, stack of Zins, and like a plushie in the corner. Saying, I'm starting a little collection too. No way. Tom says, if I had a pick, I showed you, because it's ridiculous. They're good, that's the issue.
With a Hello Kitty figurine next to her printer. Here she is sending me a
All right. Tom says, get trees and plants instead of Hello Kitty. Yikes. She says, you're not coming out alive, bruh. And then Tom says, this is such a bad omen, man. I'm staring into hell.
photo with a
Bro, it's like, it's what, 3, 4, like 4, oh well, 5, 6, 7. All right, it's like 7 Hello Kitty scenes. I was about to say it's only 2, but then I started looking at the other ones like, wait, no, there's more.
hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall. Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her decorating my room, she says, no Hello Kitty with a frowny face, and I say, correct. And something interesting about these texts is that she shows that she has a poster of the movie Lolita on her wall. I wonder what the movie Lolita could possibly be about. This film is about a middle-aged professor who is sexually attracted to adolescent girls he calls nymphettes. He rents a room in the house of a young widow to get closer to her 14-year-old daughter, Dolores Hayes Lowe, whom he calls Lolita. Obsessed with the girl, he eventually gains control over her after he takes her cross-country with him. Rowan even says that I should watch this movie, to which I reply that I feel like it's a movie adult men aren't supposed to see. In this next screenshot, Rowan asks me, if I start dressing like a weird Hello Kitty e-girl, would you still
All right, more messages to embarrass her. She says, if I start dressing like a weird Hello Kitty girl, would you still fuck with me? Tom says, no, I don't want you to do that. I kind of find it repulsive. I'd beg you to stop that. But I know you don't want to do that anyway. Now, Tom might be saying, might be telling the truth here, saying he finds it repulsive. Maybe because he's already been burned, because he was already messaging like a weird Hello Kitty girl. You know, maybe after having to deal with like the whole with the H player girl getting hacked, maybe it was at that point where he said, well, fuck this shit, I'm not into this shit anymore. What's the rest of this? She says, okay, that's good, it's Lulu season. Tom says, yeah, that's cool. She says, I can have a little kitty as a treat, but not in an odd way. And then Tom says, deal.
fuck with me? And I replied, no, I don't want you to do that. I find it kind of...
So like other than the fact that he's showing these messages to like continue to embarrass her, she was lying in that interview that she was showing interest in like Hello Kitty stuff. It wasn't just having like something in her car. She made it like very very clearly known she was like into this shit. The other girl, I already forgot her name, but the girl Tom, the girl Tom, fucked around with for like 2 months. So that Tom did the same thing by getting that girl like other Hello Kitty themes. We'll see if Tom addresses it.
Repulsive. Here, Rowan is texting me upset that she has to take down all of the Hello
All right, she says, "Okay, I'm so pissed. I have to take down all my Hello Kitties." Tom says the world is healing. She says, "What are you doing this week?" He says, "Working. Bits to get out. Big plans you see." She says, "Oh, I see. Also, they turned the Wi-Fi in my apartment off during the summer, so I'm gonna have to get creative. Little detox."
Hello Kitties from her dorm room. And this next one is probably the strangest reference to Hello Kitty out of all of them. Here, she's sending me a video that says, "Get you a man that takes you to the Hello Kitty hotel." And under it, she writes, "Imagine..."
Chat, what's the reply if you get this message? what's the reply if you get this message? TikTok saying, "Your reminder to never settle. Get you a man. Takes you to the Hello Kitty hotel." And then the girl sends him, "Imagine the rape here." What's the reply, goats? What's the reply, goats?
"The rape here." And I say, "I will not imagine." Now, with some of the more insane projections and lies out of the way, I'd like to get into some strange details that Rowan also decided to lie about for whatever reason she may have. One thing that a lot of people pointed out that's strange is that Rowan had taken a photo of us matching on Tinder before we met in person.
Yeah, I took a picture of a match because I could kind of tell there was like something weird about this guy. Like I didn't know if he was famous or whatever. And also, I did that to other people as well on Tinder.
Just like everybody you matched with to like gossip with, like girlfriends.
Yeah, like a couple of them. But yeah, he seemed like kind of weird. So I took pictures of our match.
She's also stated...
So I don't know what Tom's gonna reply here, but that story is very believable. You know, she said that like his Tinder profile, which was like mirror selfies of him flexing and him like covering his face up. So yeah, it is reasonable that she would like screenshot it to like talk shit with her friends. And like she admitted that like she had like a small suspicion that like she like recognized him from somewhere.
Repeatedly that she's not a very online person multiple times throughout her testimony. But the wild thing about this is Rowan had sent me a message on my YouTube connected Instagram.
So what's this? February 21, 2024. So what? This would be before they started dating. And here she says, "You have to do a video on this crazy guy on Twitter. He only has like 3K followers, but this man is a menace."
All the way back on February 21st of 2024, 15 months before matching me on Tinder, where she said, "You have to do a video on this crazy guy on Twitter who only has like 3,000 followers, but this man is a menace." I even confronted her about this when we first hung out because I found it very strange that she lied to my face when she first met me and said she didn't know who I was. I said, "Hey, I looked at our messages on Instagram and..."
All right. Before I give an opinion, let's read these messages. Tom says, "Hey, I looked at our messages on Instagram and saw you DM'd me over a year ago." She says, "Oops. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you, but I watched one of your vids a while ago and thought you were cute, but I thought it would be awkward." Tom says, "That's okay. I was just surprised." She says, "I know, I probably look crazy." He says, "A little bit. I mean, it's okay. I just wish you told me, that's all." She then says, I didn't want to because I thought it would be weird. I'm sorry. I kind of lied about some stuff. I was like a niche internet micro celebrity on Twitter for a little bit too. I'm chronically online and I didn't want to admit it. Well, I've gotten better about it." Tom says, "It's okay. Yeah. I'm not like modding or anything. I'm just like, it's like this. I don't think this like fully, like disproves like her claim of that she didn't know who Tom was. Like, what probably happened there is that she said that his Twitter profile was just a bunch of pictures of him like hiding his face with like his phone. It was like mirror selfies, and he's like hiding his he's hiding his face with his phone. And it probably took her a while to like fully recognize who he was. Like it's probably also one of the reasons why she screenshot it. Cause like I think I know this guy. I think I know this guy from somewhere. Cause it's not like Tom does does these types of videos where he's like talking to a webcam. His videos are just like him using like a PNG image of like a cartoon character.
And saw you DM me over a year ago. Rowan said, oops, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you, but I watched one of your vids a while ago and thought you were cute, but I thought it would be awkward. I responded, that's okay, I was just surprised. She replied, I know I probably look crazy. I said, I mean a little bit.
And I guess also, we didn't need Tom's video for this. But like with the Noah interview, it's kind of obvious that she's not like some normal person that doesn't browse social media and that doesn't consume YouTube content. She probably does regularly consume like different YouTubers, and then probably uses Twitter as well. Like her story of going to kiwi farms because you saw it on like on Tom's phone. That shit is probably a lie. She probably knows what kiwi farms is from like different YouTube shit. Maybe even from Tom's channel.
It's okay. I just wish you told me, that's all. She answered, I didn't want to because I thought it would be weird. I'm sorry. Kinda lied about some stuff. I was like a niche internet micro celebrity on Twitter for a little bit too. I'm chronically online and didn't want to admit it, lol. I've gotten better about it. Once again, this is just another detail that it doesn't even make sense to publicly lie about, but it's just one of those things that makes me question her intentions throughout the entire relationship looking back. Publicly, she's also misrepresented the end of our relationship. In the interview, it stated that our breakup took place in December and that after that she realized how bad it was and she felt the need to contact Katie, who we're gonna get into later. This is blatantly untrue. We broke up on January 10th of this year, 2026. She began posting about me on January 14th, literally days later. She says the breakup was kind of mutual, an idea that is just bitterly ironic because that's not the case. Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again.
I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls. We'll break up.
No, you won't, because I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Why?
Because you don't deserve one.
Why?
Because you're a piece of shit.
Why?
Because our whole relationship, you act like everything is all about you the whole time.
Okay.
You don't give a fuck. You're just an awful guy, and I'm so sorry that your mom raised you. She seemed like a nice lady, but clearly she did something very wrong.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life. And we can be in our own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish, okay?
I just want to see you again, though. Like, do you think we'll ever be able to see each other?
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Because you're, like, threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well, if you don't come see me, then I will.
I stated blatantly that I did not want to have sex with her. I didn't want to be with her anymore. I just wanted out of the relationship. This is something she was completely unwilling to accept, and that's why after I stopped talking to her, she proceeded to call me over 30 times and texted me 80 times with no...
Yikes. Yikes. So like, if it wasn't obvious before, yeah, Rowan is like just like a scorn ex that wanted to embarrass Tom, and now Tom is doing the same thing, embarrassing her. But let's read the messages. Let's read the messages. Rowan says, if you don't want to talk or listen to me, just say that. Don't waste my time. You need to apologize. Also, I need $900 back from my flight to Maine because it was a waste of money apparently. Goodbye, Tom. Good luck. Good luck impressing the next BPD whore with your limp dick. I have screenshots of you talking about Ellie and how your dick pics were gonna be put all over the internet. You're literally such a retard. Tell your friend from Dallas to hit me up. My friend is why you string me along. So wait, my question is why string me along so long? Say you loved me when you didn't. Tom says, became clear to me at some point that this would be the response I would get if I were to break up with you. And I've been dreading that slowly. Considering other guys over your phone, and you just threatened to post about me publicly, realistically, I can't trust you anyway. She replies with, is that why you didn't break up with me? Because you were scared I would say some dumb shit? That's so pussy, bruh. I see why you didn't want me to look you up, because this shit is so bad. You're literally just as bad as the people you make videos about, like fucking Belle Delphine impersonator. Get your dick leaked crazy. And then telling your girlfriend about it, expecting sympathy? Have some self-awareness. You're really just an overgrown man-child in some ways. That retarded meme. Ohio impressed. And also, I need my money back, because you should have told me before the trip to break up with me. You literally sat at home all day, and so nothing, have no hobbies except for gym and video games, have high body count, but you think this high value man is crazy. I know whichever girl is unfortunate enough to get into a relationship with you next will go through the same thing I did, because you're like, you're actually so emotionalist and mean, and like you're mad chopped in the face. I had to look past it. I'm done being a hater. You have a lawyer? You can't record me without consent. And post text screenshots isn't illegal, dumbass. Good luck trying to sue me for posting text messages, conversations on a public website. You're literally so stupid, Tom. I should have gone to the police right away, but I have evidence. I told my roommate after, as well as my friend Sophia. You can't even deny it, because this shit for real happened, and you said word for word, I like hurting you. I still remember because how fucked it felt. I'm getting a no contact order. It will go on your record. You're a fucking narcissist. I also got a lawyer. I hate having to tell my mom. You are genuinely a horrible human being. I never loved you. I just love the idea of you. I'm going to courthouse in Waco. When I get there, and ordering a temporary restraining order due to past threats you made against me. It might have to go to real court, in which both of us will have to appear. Yikes. Would not want to be Tom in this situation.
No response. She is publicly claiming to be a victim of sexual abuse while begging me to fuck her again.
Like, you've done all this like weird shit. Like, I don't like it. Like, you're so weird. You treat me badly, especially during sex. And like over the phone, I just listed everything that he had done wrong, and he was like, well, you can leave me if you want. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you. That's basically what happened.
But there was no like specific, like, did you guys talk at all between breaking up and then?
Tom and I?
Yeah.
I don't believe so, because I blocked him.
Even this detail is also so insane. While it is true that once she started to lose her mind, I did stop talking to her, she continued speaking at me, alternating between begging me to forgive her for breaking up with her, saying she wanted to have sex with me again, and sending me psychotic text messages filled with lies that she came up
You recorded other girls too during sex. You recorded other girls during like the same thing where you don't ask you just pull your phone out and record it. That's illegal, Tom. I hope you delete them because you really have some sick power thing hitting and choking women, even leaving bruises. It's good to know I'm not the only one who felt extremely uncomfortable.
Up with once I dumped her. Now with Rowan dealt with, the next person I'd like to address is Clorox Katie. Katie's a girl I had a brief sexual relationship with 2 years ago, and she began posting about me on the same day as Rowan. Now back when we were hanging out, she flew all the way from California to Maine to hang out with me twice. In the interview, she describes her time with me as the worst experience of her life.
And then you fly back, and how did that go? How long did you stay?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
And she also took to the forum to make some posts about me. Yes, Tom is extremely harsh during sex. I've been down the kink roads in my life, and how he acts is actually just evil and almost sadistic. Not even kinked up, just actually a Patrick Bateman type gooner. When asked how things between us ended, here is what she had to say. I just truly thought he was a cringe who definitely was going to beat me later if I stayed around. We only had a 2-month fling, but even my insane ass was scared of how he acted, and he was also just stupid. I hated conversation with him. He was just extremely weird to me and also evil as fuck during sex. Naturally, people asked her why she hadn't reported me to the police, and her response was, I thought about the police and looked into it, but again, it being across my...
Wait, what the fuck? Right. The fuck is she saying here? To answer this part, I thought about the police and looked into it. But again, it being across state lines and in Maine, it would have been the file there. And I lived on the opposite side of the country, so it didn't seem feasible. Only in contact with Sacramento. I'm semi in contact with Ellie right now through a friend, but I'm trying to get in contact with her directly. The friend said she would ask stuff for us, but it's taken forever to get a response. Okay.
My own state lines, and in Maine, it would have had to been filed there, and I lived on the opposite side of the country, so it just didn't seem feasible. These claims are once again so absurd to me that the best way to dispel them is to just look through our messages together. In these 2 DMs, you...
Alright. So here Katie's saying, taking off, bouncing up and down. Tom says, so soon, excited. I'm ready. She says, I'm also ready. Also, 2 more hours. So crazy. Tom says 1 hour. It's so over, but we're so back. Katie says, we're so back. Just landed. I didn't die on the plane. Woohoo. Made it to... what, the SF? Or made it safe? Or San Francisco? Was shit. I don't remember the details. With Katie, was the trip only like 3 days, and that's why she's saying made it to San Francisco? Maybe maybe if I finish reading it, I'd find out. Hold on. So what Katie says, it's so nice, even nicer after seeing DC's horrible, disgusting airport. Tom says, what was bad about it? Yeah, I'm glad you made it home. Okay, so yeah. She flew out for like only 3 days. I forgot. Katie says there's just a million storms in the US. The turbulence was actually ridiculous. It felt like a fucking drop tower. We were literally bobbing up and down in the air. My tummy was fluttering like a roller coaster, lol. Same, I mean, though. Tom says, I see, I usually don't experience turbulence on flights, but it must just be due to the storms in your case, yeah. I miss you too, Katie. I had so much fun with you.
You see that Katie comes to visit me for the first time on January 20th and leaves on January 23rd. She comes to visit me, she says she's excited, she then goes home, and after leaving my house the first time, she immediately texted me saying, I had so much fun, Tom, you can kidnap me whenever. I feel so alone in my bed. She then says that she has to come back. Now, days after coming the first time, she sends me nudes. Once again, this is kind of a weird thing to send to somebody that you're claiming is recording sex with you without your consent. Why would you send this person nudes? She then sends me nudes a second time, says she needs...
I don't see the contradiction. Like, like it's possible. Let's well, we'll assume that Tom unconsensually recorded Katie. Like it's reasonable that like she's frustrated. That you started recording her, but she doesn't have like that big of a problem, so she doesn't say anything at the time. She's just frustrated that if you asked, she probably would have been fine with it. But it's also possible that Tom didn't unconsensually record.
Needs it, says so starved, so deprived, and she says that she misses me so much. I say let's hang out in March. She says I'm down, but waiting until March will be so hard. On February 1st, Katie says that she misses me. On February 2nd, she slides up on my story and says she is counting down the days until she can see me again. She then says that she needs to see me ASAP, and she misses all the things about me. On February 4th, she says she wishes that she woke up cuddling me. On February 8th, she says she wants to have sex with me again. Once again, this is after the first time we hung out. February 18th, she says she's going to swallow me, and she then sends me naked photos of herself willingly. Keep in mind, once again, she's accusing me of recording sex with her without her consent, and then she keeps sending me naked photos of herself. She even sent me a video, by the way. She says, I need you right meow. I need you ASAP. February 22nd and February 24th, we have I miss you and are you home yet? February 28th, she slides up on my story and says, I am gonna suck you so good. She then says, I need to see you now more than ever. Lots of hugs and hot sex. On March 2nd, she says, I like you lots. And I reciprocate. She says she can't wait to see me again. She then says that she's excited to see me that coming Saturday. And the next...
So this is just Tom, just basically revealing almost all the messages he had with Katie, to, like get back at her, which is fair, I guess.
screenshot, I say, your pussy's gonna be so sore. And Katie responds with, good thing we had to wait a while, because then I can take a beating. She then says, I'm ready for you to throw me around. Now, when we were discussing how many days she would want to stay, she says, as long as you want, and that we'll...
Alright, so before I read it, from what I remember, I think it was in the Noel interview, where Tom does this thing where he'll like buy like the flight to his place, but wouldn't also buy like the second ticket back. Like he said, I'm not gonna buy like the second ticket back until like you're actually here. And then like once you're here, we'll like then decide when I'll fly you back home. So what's the messages here? Tom says, sending because they gave confirmation code thing. She says, yeah, thank you. Also, how many days? I need to tell my boss I'll be disappearing, lol. Tom says, oh, good question. I just got one way. How many days can you? Like, stay, I mean. She says, lol, I stay for as long as you want. I can just tell my job I'm sick. Tom says, do you want to stay for a week? She says, yes, I'm down. Okay, 1 week we can do. Oh, yeah. Katie says, gonna be so fun, so awesome. Gonna have so much sex and party so hard.
We'll have so much sex and party so hard. And she then once again expresses how...
I'm so excited, was already excited. But a week now, I'm extra excited. Last time was too short, just saying.
how excited she is. On March 7th, she sends me a barrage of
Alright, and then revealing more messages to embarrass her. Again, it's a little weird that you won't buy like the round trip, but like she really she should have said for like how many days like before he bought the ticket. I guess in there, I don't remember if we ever see like text messages of him like refusing to like buy like a round trip. I don't remember.
solicited sexual photos, including her with BDSM leather on her butt.
Like if she never asked for like the round trip thing like before flying over, then it's like whatever. But like if she did ask and he refused, that's weird as hell. That's weird as hell.
But on March 8th, she says all she can think about is me, and she can't wait for my dick to be down her throat. And on March 10th at 7 in the morning, which is 4 a.m. her time, she says that she is so excited to see me that she cannot sleep. Now, with the Instagram messages out of the way, we can move on to the text messages. So on March 10th, this is the second visit, right? Prior to getting there, she says that she is starving for me. Now, March 15th, this is when she leaves. She says I still have her toothbrush, but that I have to let her come back. Now, keep in mind, Katie, in her own words, said that this second time visiting me,
So when was this? You have my toothbrush, lol. Wow, looks like I just have to come back. It's all over, so over. Fancy ass toothbrush. Shaking my head. Alright. It's like Tom's about to say that in the Noel interview, Katie describes like the second trip as being awful. And like ending the trip super early. So what does Tom have to say?
but that I have to let her come back. Now, keep in mind, Katie, in her own words, said that this second time visiting me was the worst experience of her entire life.
How long did you say?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
She basically describes being physically abused in the interview. She even says that while we were having sex, she would ask me to stop doing something, and I wouldn't. But that did not happen. You may also recall her stating that she ended things with me because I was such an insufferable person to be around. She claims that after the second trip, she began to realize she was a victim.
Yeah, and that's kind of like when things really started piecing together to me that I was like, wait, I think I am a victim right now. Like, something's not right here.
In her words, this is why she stopped talking to me. She says that she was scared of me. She says she was scared that I would beat her.
Well, like, she said that, like, one of her friends said that she was a victim. And then once her friend was, like, saying, like, bro, you're a victim. You're a victim. Then she started saying, wait, maybe I am a victim.
Well, on March 20th, which is after the second visit, she texts me saying, Tom, I really like spending time with you.
All right, I'll read it. I'll read it, Tom. Katie says, Tom, I really like spending time with you, but I'm kind of worried about if you actually like me or just using me, lol. I'm just a BPD-ing, and so I'm tweaking and need reassurance. Are you just having fun with me, or do we have something? Lol, I'm drunk. I'm sorry, I am retarded. Tom says, hi, I was asleep. Well, I like you. I think you're cool. And perhaps we even have something. However, I would make a bad boyfriend, so I don't really want to date anyone officially. I guess, yeah. She then says, it doesn't have to be official. We could just see what happens. Sorry you woke up to that. I feel so stupid, lol. Tom says, I'm cool with that. Lol, it's okay.
You, but I'm kind of worried about if you actually like me or just using me, lol. I'm just...
So really so far, we still got like 2 minutes left in the video. But Tom has only like really disproven one thing from Katie. And it's that the like Katie described like the second trip as like the worst thing she's gone through. And that it was super awful, and that I'm pretty sure she even said something that was like, I begged to like be sent home early. Really, because she was bored as hell, and that he smelled, and that he had ringworm. And like with like the messages he previously showed, like Katie saying, I left my toothbrush there. I guess I have to go back. It does kind of show that she did enjoy the second trip, and that she's kind of coping in that whole interview, just saying it was like the worst trip of my life.
BPDing, and so I'm tweaking and need reassurance. Are you just having fun with me, or do we have something? To which I respond, well, I like you and I think you're cool, and perhaps we even have something. However, I would make a bad boyfriend, so I don't really want to date anyone officially, I guess. Yeah. I was abundantly clear with my intentions with her. I did not want anything serious at that time, but apparently...
Like, it's obvious that Tom doesn't want anything. But this message here isn't being abundantly clear. This is like letting her down, like slowly. Like this isn't like abundantly clear. This is like giving her like some hope. I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't really care if you leave bitches on, but like be honest.
I was abundantly clear with my intentions with her. I did not want anything serious at that time. But apparently, this is the period she began to realize the true extent of my abuse, which is probably why after we had already hung out the second time, Katie tries to arrange a third meeting with.
So what is this? How long will you be there? Till Wednesday morning, I think, yeah. Actually, Tuesday night, I leave, yes. And then Katie says, damn it, I get there Wednesday.
Me, saying she wishes that she was in Ohio, where I was at the time, and I did not reciprocate. After this proposition, she slid up on my Instagram story.
Bro, the fuck are these stories? Tom is embarrassing as all, bro. Even on the story, he's posting faceless pictures of him flexing. All right, Katie says, I wish I was in Ohio. Tom says, you lost. Katie says, oh my God, you're so mean. Tom says, sorry. Again, about 2 weeks later, he replies to her story again. Well, no, she replies to his story. He says, I got it on Amazon. They continue to chat. She even says the N-word. Just replying to his story. trying to get his attention.
12 times over the next 10 months, and I did not slide up on her story once, not a single time. So ask yourself, do these texts sound like a girl texting a guy that she finds evil and sadistic, a guy that she was even debating going to the police about? Because to me, it seems crystal clear that she enjoyed our time together and even wanted to hang out a third time. You got to keep in mind here, she flew across the entire North American continent twice, from California to Maine to see me. After the second time, she wanted me to be her boyfriend. I didn't want to, and she then repeatedly made efforts to contact me and hang out with me again. Now, to close off the video, I think I'd like to share some interesting texts that Rowan sent me about her dear friend Katie, as they're both accusing me of, I mean, whatever it is they're even trying to say at this point. After she saw that I was following Katie on Instagram, she messaged me on December 8th saying, did you know Clorox Katie tried to fuck?
The fuck is this? The fuck is this? Alright, Rowan, Sacramento says, did you know that Katie girl was trying to fuck that chopped chat guy too? Or some shit. Like, she's crazy, bro. Tom says, I did not know that. Do we gotta keep talking about her? Rowan says, no. Future thinking is important. Tom says, true. Rowan says, thinking with your dick, bad idea. It's okay though. Then Tom says, everything's gonna be okay.
Jet Neptune. Those girls too make themselves easy targets with the hair and piercings because they have sexual trauma. She then says, they complain about sexual assault a lot.
So just revealing messages that Rowan was talking shit about Katie. I think that's why they also complain about Essay a lot. They put themselves in these situations due to their hypersexuality. Tom says, yeah, well, they know sex gets them instant male validation. I don't even know if they like it that much.
Because they will fuck anything that breathes. 1 month and 2 days later, I broke up with Rowan. And in the middle of her unhinged tirade about me, she told me that she would be messaging as many girls I had been with as possible to try and find whatever dirt she could so that she could run to the internet about it. Now, I've seen a lot of people say things to the effect of, Tom's a hypocrite. He gooned. And you're right, I did goon, okay? I did not stop gooning. So maybe in the end, the hats are more relevant than ever. Anyway, that's about it. I've said everything I need to. Goodbye.
Well, goats, that's the end of the video. That's the end of the video, goats. So what? Let's go over the allegations I said earlier in the stream, where it was age play, recording without consent, and being like an asshole in bed, being inconsiderate in bed. So with the Rowan girl, I think it's pretty clear that Tom probably wasn't like secretly recording her. It's probably not true. Ignoring requests in bed. I mean, I guess Rowan did like it rough in bed. He didn't really address the lube thing in Lowell's interview. Rowan said that like she bought lube for him, and Tom didn't use it. Apparently, there's like a message where Tom says, "Oh, I only use it to jerk off. They never use it in bed." And then the age play thing, that Tom doesn't. Tom isn't clear of that. Tom isn't clear of that. He's probably guilty as hell. Even in his own picture, with the picture he used of the age play girl, I think it is obvious that he is into like those type of like Hello Kitty girls, or at least was. Maybe I think now it's more realistic after having that situation with that previous girl. He probably doesn't like it anymore. That's my guess.